episode 2 of State of the Frogs with Coach Mark Campbell, presented to you by Richard's Rainwater. I'm your host, Bingo Merriex. And Coach, thanks for stopping by with us today, talking. The last time we was together, since then you've been really busy, 9-game winning streak. And it seems like your team got the message that you were sending to them after that loss to South Carolina.
Yeah, the South Carolina game has turned into an absolute blessing and served its purpose.
Yeah.
The purpose was to test yourself against the best program in the country. And we've grown in our maturity, our toughness, even just the preparation. We got a group of 22-year-olds, that's our average age, that took the coaching after that game and knew in order for us to reach our full potential, we got to continue to grow and get better. And I think it's been pretty evident that this group's been locked in.
Yeah. And so coming into the show, we've seen some highlights, dynamic plays from your team. What was the biggest improvement, would you say, right now from that loss coming into these 9 wins that you have right now?
It's showing up in a lot of different ways. The maturity of really that big three with Sedona and Madison and Haley.
Right.
Their focus and toughness, and they set the tone for everybody. Agnes does that. Every game Agnes has played for us, that's who she is. That's her DNA. But I think those other 3 learned truly that they have to crank it up another level collectively. And that's really revealed itself on the defensive end. Offensively, we've been a juggernaut.
Right.
And we've been able to share the ball and score at a high clip. But for us, after that South Carolina we just got to get physically tougher on the defensive end to make sure we maximize this group's talent.
Yeah. And so top 10 team in the country, does that put more of a target on your back? Is that harder for your team, you think, to come out? I think, in the Big 12, it's still easy to get motivated for some games, but, maybe some teams are 0-6. Is that a little bit tougher to prepare for sometimes?
Well, I'll tell you, our team respects the opponent. What happens when you're one of those teams that's top 10 in the country is you get everybody's best shot when they come play you.
Right.
It's a big game for them. And so the great teams are able to take on everybody. Obviously, South Carolina does it every year.
Right.
And so which we are now, a top 10 team in the country, when UCF comes in, you're going to get their best version of themselves.
Yeah.
And that's every single night. So to continue to win, which our group deserves a lot of credit. We haven't stubbed our toe yet.
Yeah.
But it's easy to, because you underestimate somebody and your opponent is locked in on, in the Big 12, who's the first team that's going to take down TCU?
Right.
And so thankfully our kids have not allowed that to happen. You got to continue to do that. And the next game, we always call the next game our Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl, okay.
Yep, and it is. It's truly, you can't look ahead on this journey. Which since we've been here, I think, in our non-conference, I think we're 25-1. So we have not stubbed our toe and lost a game that we're not supposed to win.
Right.
So it's a testament to the staff, but really these kids, they bring it every game.
And you talk about your staff, being a top 10 team and always getting somebody's best shot. Does that make the preparation for your staff a little bit tougher? Because, maybe coming in a kid that may be shooting, not so well, but will come in and you'll have to make adjustments. Does that happen with your staff as well?
Yeah, and a lot of in-game adjustments,
right?
Right? Because when you're that team that is the underdog, which we used to be.
I got you.
You're willing to try things you haven't tried all season. And you allow your team to play free because you're the underdog. You got nothing to lose. And so in game, our staff, we got to be able to make adjustments on the scouting report as the thing unfolds.
Right. That's good. So, with the staff, with everything that's going on, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about what's going on in the Big 12 when we come back with State of the Frogs with Coach Mark Campbell, presented to you by Richard's Rainwater. And right now we'll have a word from Richard's Rainwater.
What do you see when you look up at the clouds? At Richard's Rainwater, we see the greatest source of pure, delicious water looking right back down at us. We've invented a simple, powerful technology to collect and bottle rainwater. Our process begins with the rain. When clouds become saturated, droplets fall from the sky. Rainfall is a naturally cleansing event. During the first few minutes, the raindrops clean the atmosphere and wash away any dirt or debris from surface areas. At this cleanest point in the rain cycle, we collect the pure raindrops into large storage vessels. Then, we use a simple, yet effective combination of ozone and microfiltration to ensure our rainwater surpasses the highest drinking water standards. We pour the pure, refreshing rainwater into glass bottles and aluminum cans, packaging as infinitely renewable as the water itself. Richards Rainwater is building a network of collection systems across the country to ensure our rainwater is local everywhere. The purest, best-tasting water comes from the sky. Richards Rainwater, sip the sky.
Welcome back to State of the Frogs, episode 2 with Mark Campbell. I'm your host, Bingo Merriex, and Coach. Now we're talking Big 12. 6-0 to start off, man. It has to feel real good. What is the emotion? What is the team morale right now as far as just with this great start in conference play?
They're excited.
Yeah.
You do all the preparation in order to get ready for Big 12 play. And so I think it's the first time for TCU that they've ever started off 6-0 in any of the leagues in women's basketball. So it's something that's never been done. And it's neat. This group is kind of a collection of players with a chip on their shoulder, and they continue to kind of keep checking boxes of the first time we've ever done this and the first time we've ever done that. And they love it.
Right.
Like they need something to chase. They need something that this hasn't been done. And you can just see the twinkle in their eye.
Yeah.
Haley's the ultimate one, right?
Yeah.
Just give her a reason to be pissed off, or give her a goal and tell her she can't do it.
Yeah, that's good. And talking about goals, talking about records, your team set a record with attendance last game, and that just shows just everybody wants to see the dynamic. Everybody wants to see the highlight plays. This here, your team right now is pretty much one of the toughest teams in the conference and in the nation right now.
How cool is that? The student section broke the all-time record. I think it was 2013, so 12 years. They had not had a student section like that. And Fort Worth, the community, the crowds have gotten bigger every game, so they've been unbelievable. The student body to come out and show up. It was the first game back since Christmas break, so the kids were on campus. And you're telling me the first thing they do is to come to a TCU women's basketball game, and that's what makes this place special, and that family environment. And we needed them. And I'll tell you what, we need them again on Friday.
Right, exactly. And so that energy and everything, I know as a player, you probably, when you played, the energy was in there, you wanted to make plays.
Yep.
How is it as a coach when you feel that electric energy, when you feel that atmosphere? How is it coaching in those type of environments?
Well, I'll answer it two ways. There's the players. They love it when they make the highlight play.
Right.
Like they feel it. You see Sedona flexing and Haley, and Connor's doing all the different things she does after she sticks threes. For the coach, I feel the energy on the defensive end.
Okay.
It gets me excited when the crowd gets into it and we're getting stops. But so the players love it after they make a highlight play. I love it because I know our kids are going to be juiced on the defensive end to go get a stop.
That's good, man. It's like, so you don't be in the huddle sometimes, and you draw the play up and it works. You don't be like, yeah, I made that play. I drew that play up. Sometimes.
It's no, because the kids, you got Haley, Sedona, Madison, like you just have firepower.
Right.
That's easy for them. Now go get a stop after you do that.
Right. Yeah. That's good, man. And we talk about just the play of your team and everything. Just how is it in the Big 12, undefeated right now? What is the next goal that you're trying to reach as far as, with your team, keeping them focused? What is the mindset as far as in the coach and your team going forward in the Big 12 with that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first of all, you take it one game at a time, and every game in the Big 12 is an absolute battle. But there's a gauntlet that you've kind of had circled on your calendar as you look at your league schedule. And so you got a string of 5 games. Not all of them are ranked in the top 25, all 5 teams are in the top 25.
Right, right.
And so, you go Utah, then we go out on the road to Oklahoma State, which both those teams are top 25.
Yep.
Come back to the Schollmeyer for the Baylor game, which is going to be unbelievable.
Right, right.
And they're playing really good, and they should be ranked in the top 5. And then you got to go to Ames, and you got to go to Kansas State. And so that 5-game gauntlet, you got to take it one game at a time, and get through that segment, and then reset. And then you got the back end of league to finish it out. So right now we're a third of the way through league.
Right.
Take on this 5-game stretch, and then you got a third left on the back end. And Friday night, 6:30 against Utah is going to be the first one. And I think they're the best offensive team in our league.
Okay.
They're unique in their style of play, the way they share the ball. And so we got to figure out a way to slow these guys down.
Yeah. And so that's good for your team as well because, coming into, conference play and having such, a tough schedule with the Big 12, it gets you prepared for, hopefully postseason play as well, too. So you don't have no letdowns. And as you said, not to stub your toe and to be ready for the tournament.
Big 12 gets you ready. In March Madness, which we haven't been since 2010.
Okay.
It's been 15 years since the women's program has punched their ticket. And so if we get the opportunity to go play, you're going to see every style of play, right? Like West Virginia presses for 40 minutes. Kansas State's the best defensive team in the country. Oklahoma State does their 4-out spread pick and roll. Utah's this hybrid 5-out dynamic offense. So it's what you said. No matter your draw in March Madness, after you go through the 18-game grind of the Big 12, you're ready for it.
Ready. That's good. And I know your players are going to be ready for it for sure. And so when we come back, we'll be talking to one of the players and Ella, get her feel on being on the team. And we got some good news for you about this player. So when State of the Frogs with Coach Mark Campbell returns, we'll be back to you after these messages.
Energy does everything for us. It's all-encompassing.
We're all benefiting and affected from it.
And it is something that we all need to know about.
It is the glue that holds everything together.
TCU is powering what matters, our future.
We don't just talk about what's needed, we focus on results.
The Ralph Lowe Energy Institute is creating a world where energy is affordable, sustainable, and reliable.
But Ella, you've earned a full ride scholarship.
Just to go back and watch the video and see the genuine emotion that everyone had. It wasn't just like Ella was emotional. Everybody in that room, from coaches to players to support staff, everyone was truly giving genuine emotion to that moment. And that just shows you, the value that every person has in our program.
Yeah, I mean, Ella has helped us more than she even knows. So I think it's awesome for her to finally get the opportunity to get a full ride scholarship. She comes in here every single day with a great attitude. She's happy to be here. She's involved in everything, does everything with a smile on her face. And I think she's taught us so much of just resiliency and just the love of basketball. She literally came here just because she loves basketball. There was no money offered. There was nothing given to her. She knew that she probably wasn't going to get that many minutes, but she loves basketball so much, and she just wanted to come out here to play basketball and help the team. So I think that's just a healthy reminder for all of us that we're so blessed to have the opportunity to play basketball, and she kind of just gives us a little bit of that every day. So seeing her being able to get a full-ride scholarship, it meant everything. So happy for her.
And for Ella to come on the team and the rest of the girls, it was just such a moment for us to be like, wow, this community really is coming together, right? These girls came out of their normal lives to come help us out and to be a part of this team and to give us extra jerseys. And that was so special, right? And when Ella came back this next year, we were so grateful, right? We were kind of begging her to come back, and she was just, she contemplated it. But for her to come back and to have the dedication that Ella has is unmatched. I've never met someone that just cares and will do anything for the team that she needs to in order to help. And her dedication every single day, right? To come from Granbury every single day in the summer to, she's in nursing classes. She's a full-time nursing student. And for her to be a walk-on unpaid, right? And to come in this gym every single day and have such a good attitude and just joy about her, it's so unbelievably rare, and it's so much deserved. I really don't think people understand how deserved it is for Ella to get that scholarship.
it's unique, and not every place is like that, but we all value each other in your roles, whatever your role is, whether you're a coach or you're our athletic trainer or you're Ella or you're Madison Connor, like everyone is valued, and we all support each other, and to see Ella be rewarded for just the mental energy and effort and support that she's given us. It was really special, and to see her react to it and how grateful she was for the moment, it was awesome. So I couldn't be happier for her.
Welcome back to State of the Frogs, episode 2 with Coach Mark Campbell, presented to you by Richards Rainwater. And we have here now a celebrity,
Oh my God.
Ella Hamlin, excuse me. And we just seen a soundbite. We just seen your teammates talking about you and just praising you, just how great of a person you are and just how good of a teammate you are. Can you just tell us a little bit how your emotions are right now? How are you feeling as far as what's everything going on right now?
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was not expecting it at all. Honestly, I wasn't, and I'm just so grateful. I mean, playing with these girls, they're truly the best teammates in the world. They have just welcomed me even since last year, the returners, and then Haley, just meeting all of them this year, they couldn't be nicer to me. So
yeah. And so just talking about last year a little bit, the Underfrogs, having to have tryouts and everything. How did you hear about that? What were you doing when you heard about the tryouts, and what made you want to come out?
I think it was the first day of class, or it was one of the first 2 days of class that I heard about it. I saw an Instagram post that there was open tryouts, and I knew that I had to at least give it a shot since I love basketball so much, and so I knew I had to be there.
Did you have dreams of coming to play college basketball, or just after high school you didn't think you would play anymore and then just came about? How did that go for you?
I wanted to play in college for a little bit, but then I just kind of got some smaller stuff and wanted to go to a big school and focus on nursing, which is what I'm doing here.
Right.
So that's why I chose TCU, and I thought basketball's over, but it was just crazy opportunity.
And you talk about nursing, you got to put nursing on hold for a little bit because, of course you're studying it, but you have stuff to do as far as playing basketball and being on a great team, top 10 in the country. How is it playing in the Big 12, one of the best conferences in basketball? How is that excitement for you, the energy, the atmosphere? What has that been like for you being a part of that?
I mean, it's just unreal. It's such a cool experience to just be able to be a part of such an amazing team with these caliber players, just watching them in practice, playing with them in practice. It just makes me better to be on the team, and I just love watching them and playing with them.
So do you have a favorite player? Who's your favorite player? Do you emulate your game after anyone?
I don't know. Haley, I remember watching her in high school.
Okay.
So I was a little starstruck when I first met her.
Right.
Sedona and all of them, but yeah.
That's good. And so if you could say anything about your game, what do you feel is the best part of your game? What do you bring to the team?
I would like to say shooting, but nothing compared to Maddie Connor, so it's hard to compare, but I would say shooting.
Is that your favorite thing you like to do, shooting?
It is
3-point shots?
Yeah, I love the three-pointer.
That's good. Well, hopefully you'll make some tonight against Utah. So when we come back, we'll be talking to Coach Mark Campbell about Utah and then moving forward in conference play when State of the Frogs with Coach Mark Campbell continues.
Welcome to the Squire Shop.
We are locally owned and operated since 1994.
We specialize in the finest men's clothing that the market has to offer at affordable prices with unbelievable service.
We do custom clothing all the way to more casual, Peter Millar, Johnny O, kind of everything. Well, my dad's the owner, so I've been around retail my whole life. Oh, it's great. It's the best boss I'll ever have. I know that.
We love our TCU community. They have been so good to us. Come see us today. Go Frogs!
Ella, a year ago was the debut of the Underfrogs. Ella, in this moment, how scared were you when you were shooting around, doing warm-ups, getting ready for the game a year ago today?
I was shaking.
There was about 25 cameras that were following every one of your guys' moves. Ella, we're just super grateful for you. And Ella, when there's adversity, most people run away from it. Okay, the Underfrogs, adversity hit, and you guys decided to step up so we could continue our season. And I appreciate you, Ella.
Thank you.
more than you know. That game a year ago was the foundation of our program. Leah. Hey, but Ella, thank you for stepping up at the plate and coming back and being a huge part of this team. But Ella, you've earned a full ride scholarship.
And Coach, we just played a sound bite there of, you talking about Ella and having her get a full scholarship, which is remarkable, and it's a great story. You got a little emotional there, just with the thing that's going on with that. Can you just talk about that a little bit for us and just tell us a little bit about Ella? Because your teammates, they praise her and they just love her, and so that is really good.
It's the journey that we have been on this year and a half.
Yeah.
It's hard to put into words. It feels like a movie, to be honest, a little surreal. And so Ella in the Underfrogs, a year ago saved our season. We were down to 6 kids, and which isn't enough to continue to compete. We forfeited the games. We came up with the idea to hold open tryouts, and you had no idea what was going to show up, and you selected 4 young ladies that you think kind of could fit our program and help us. And so Ella was one of those. And allowed our season to continue. They fit into our team and the fabric. They did an amazing job. Year's over, and so Ella, comes back, and I extended an offer to each one of them because just how grateful I was for what they did, and for different reasons, Ella was the only one that was able to take on the time commitment. That this level requires, and she did it as a walk-on, which means you get nothing. And so Ella asked, hey, can I be a part of the team? And I want to be at every workout, every conditioning, every shooting, all summer. And she was driving 40 minutes each way to get to be at all these workouts. She'd crash on the kids' couches. She poured her heart and soul into the program. And so as the season unfolded, and you never know each year how the scholarship situation is going to work out. Right. And so it ended up we had one available. And so I waited for the UCF game. Right. And this collage is going to be up here my whole time I get a coach. But last year was the debut of the Underfrogs. It was our first time, after we forfeited those games. And it was a magical moment where we got a win. We're undermanned. And so a small way to honor Ella, I wanted to give her scholarship when we played UCF at home. And so the team didn't know, not even all my staff knew. I wanted to keep it really quiet so it didn't leak because it's a special moment. And so got the win, thankfully. Right. And Ella got 2 corner threes. I was praying she was going to stick one of those. And then we got a chance to go back in the locker room as a team in a private, intimate environment and honor Ella and extend a full ride scholarship. And I got a little choked up just because of what she has done and meant to our program. She's a hero. And it was a small way to say thank you for what Ella's done for us.
Man, that is remarkable. And with that kind of energy just moving forward, you have Utah tonight. And like you said, this is number 23 ranked in the country, and this is going to be a great test for your team because Utah, though they turn it over 15 times, but they force 18 to 19 turnovers as well, and they scored 21 points off those turnovers. So it's going to be real key for your team to take care of the ball tonight.
Yeah, we have to. And we've been good at it all year. We're going to have to be good at it tonight. But you can't give them free points. They are already an explosive offensive team with firepower. And so, we can't turn it over because we're so efficient. If we can get the shot up, we put points on the board in a hurry. Right. And so this could be a shootout. Right. Hopefully we get more stops than they do. But this could be a fun, high-tempo game. My guess is it's going to be a shootout. But I'll tell you what, at the Schollmeyer with the crowds, the support, the student section, we've been hard to beat here.
Yeah, and so that's good, man. We'll end it right there, and we'll wish you the best of luck tonight, in the game against Utah. Come on out 6:30 at Show My Arena. This has been another episode of State of the Frogs with Coach Mark Campbell. From all of us at Frogs Today at Roxo Media House, has been presented by Richard's Rainwater. I've been your host, Bingo Merriex, and we'll see you tonight. Go Frogs.